Okay, so this is the part that a lot of people have a lot of interest in.
Yeah. Like,
And it's one of the parts that I think that parents find the most confusing.
mm-hmm.
I have taken a step back from doing Facebook parent group arguing with people because it'll end up taking an hour and a half of my time. And even when you post the administrative code or the rule for the state, you'll still have people that tell you that that what you're saying is inaccurate. So I found that I had to back off from that, but sometimes I see things that I just have to respond to. So the other night I saw a mom in an autism support group that said that the school district removed her child's diagnosis of autism. And I was trying to explain to her that that's impossible because school districts do not diagnose disabilities or disorders. Let me repeat that again. School districts do not diagnose, even if the school psychologist is licensed in your state and they actually could conduct an evaluation separate from the school district in which they could diagnose through their school district position, they cannot and will not diagnose. What they will do is determine if your child is eligible for one of 13 categories of programming as defined under IDA. That's what they will do. Now, there is some synergy between some program eligibility that students meet and a clinical diagnosis. And in my experience, in now over 750 cases that I've worked on, 90, I don't know if I had to guess 7 or 98% of the time, it matches up. When a student is eligible for the autism spectrum program, they usually would in fact meet the clinical diagnosis of autism. A lot of the evaluations are the same. A private clinician very well might have more availability to a wider range and wider variety of evaluation measures in the school district. With that being said, I have made a case and made an argument for certain evaluation measures. The school district got it. They either purchased it, they either rented it from fiddlers, or they borrowed it. So it's not that they can't get it, but they might not have the training or the aptitude in the same variety of measures. And again, that totally depends on the private clinician. But they cannot diagnose. When your child is made eligible for, let's say, the autism spectrum program or other health impaired because they have a diagnosis of ADHD, they are now eligible for programming. In the case of other health impaired, one of the criterias for being found eligible for that program is that you do need a medical diagnosis of the disorder, okay? So you would actually need to come with a medical diagnosis of ADHD. There's a physician form that you can fill out that your school district can provide you with if you're considering, or your school's district is considering OHI eligibility. With that being said, it doesn't need to be, even your pediatrician can fill that out. The other components to meet eligibility are more than just that your pediatrician said your child has ADHD. You're not automatically eligible for a program because you have a diagnosis. You actually have to, the child actually has to show evidence for a need of specialized instruction in one of the 5 IEP domains, which include curriculum and instruction, social emotional, independent functioning, healthcare, and communication. And even if you have straight A's and you have no academic needs, if you have social emotional needs that have an impact in any aspect of your school day, if you have independent functioning needs that have an impact in any aspect of your school day, even I'm not just talking about using the bathroom or basic hygiene, independent functioning in terms of organizing your materials in the same manner at the same level of expectation as same age peers. Initiating tasks, maintaining focus on tasks, completing tasks, those all have to do with, and much more than that, with independent functioning. So hopefully that's clear. This is really, really, really important, and I don't want to go on forever, but if you have questions that have to do with the distinguishing factors between being found eligible for a program versus being clinically diagnosed and exiting programming or dismissing or ineligibility, anything having to do with that, please, please, please put it in the chat so that I can go a little bit deeper with you when we get to Q&A.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's really important because most parents, and I had a lot of cases that in which I would provide an evaluation, like a private evaluation, and then parents would not know if the child has anxiety, if he or she will be eligible for extra time. And actually, it's a yes, right, Krista?
Right. So there's two different standards of eligibility. One is under Section 504.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the other is under IDA, and that's for consideration for an IEP. Sometimes we evaluate and we determine that a 504 plan is going to meet the unique needs of the student and that the accommodation plan is appropriate. Other times we evaluate and we determine that a student would be better served through an IEP document, right? But those are two levels of eligibility determination that have their own evaluation requirements.
Yeah. Okay.